It's been 6 months since Hurricane Helene devastated Asheville, North Carolina, so many other places in Appalachia. They still have boarded up buildings here. There's a lot of work ongoing. And the last thing they want to think about is hurricane season, but it comes back June 1st. When we're getting close to hurricane season, I like to check in with those hurricane hunters, the scientists and the pilots that fly into the hurricane to get that critical data for the hurricane forecast. 2 years ago, I got to go with them into Hurricane Lee.
This instrument is called a dropson. It is going to go right here. Leanne's going to drop a bunch of them into this tube, out the airplane, into the eye wall of the storm.
All right, now let's bring it back to the right.
Okay. It was a wild ride, but this is the important part. NOAA studies show that their data that they collect makes a hurricane forecast at least 10% more accurate. Just ask Andy Hazelton with the NOAA Research Division.
Hurricane forecasts have improved by a lot. The 5-day forecast, track forecast from last year was about as accurate as like a 1-day track forecast was in 1992 when Hurricane Andrew hit down here in South Florida.
But even before the cuts to NOAA, there was a GAO report that said that hurricane hunters were already struggling because they've got old airplanes and regular staffing issues. NOAA officials have been quoted as saying the agency is often one illness or injury away from having to cancel missions. Now, 2 of their airplanes are from the 1970s, and the other is from 1994. Before Helene made landfall, the one that did all the damage here in Asheville, they missed 2 missions because of maintenance issues. Now, thankfully, the forecast for Helene was really spot on, but it's a big difference when you have no aircraft going into your hurricane.
We've seen 2 examples in the Eastern Pacific recently where we had storms that didn't have aircraft flying into them for a variety of reasons. And it was Hurricane John last year, I think, and then Otis the year before. And Otis especially, it basically was kind of unexpectedly intensified into a Category 5.
It's kind of alarming to see piles of debris like this still, and the dirt that filled the street 6 months ago from Hurricane Helene still here. Obviously, the need for data keeps growing, and NOAA is planning to get 6 new planes to replace the old ones, and they say it cannot happen soon enough because they're not just flying into hurricanes. For the last decade, they've been flying into nor'easters and winter storms on the East Coast, and since 2019, they started flying into atmospheric rivers before they hit the West Coast. And why would one fly into an atmospheric river? Well, that data that they collect can help cities make better choices when it comes to evacuations or what to do with reservoirs. Very similar to hurricanes. From 1980 to 2024, the United States had 67 separate billion-dollar tropical cyclone events, a total of $1.5 trillion in damages and more than 7,000 deaths. Because of that, the more we know, the better.
That's the kind of information you only get from these aircraft missions typically. So it really gives them a 3-dimensional, almost like an X-ray or MRI of the storm that you can't get from anything else. And so it's something we definitely rely on.